So obviously, this past weekend was week 2 of the NFL regular season. Is there a certain game that you guys want to talk about first? I'll leave it up to you guys.
All you, yeah, whatever your passion is telling you.
So, first game that comes to mind, it's gotta be. I wasn't gonna even say the Ravens game. I want to say the Miami Dolphins game because they came out. I didn't think they were gonna win that game. I had hope at half, like, okay, Tua hasn't played to expectations yet. You know, he's gonna be better in the second half, but I didn't know he could come back, right? I thought the offense for the Ravens were just gonna match the offense for the Dolphins. But that defense for the Dolphins, that offense for the Dolphins, they played at a Super Bowl caliber level, in my opinion. That second half, that was a perfect half for them, pretty much. And can't say anything less for that team. You know, they're Super Bowl contenders, possibly. Got to see more from Tua. You know, see if he can play like this consistently. But we just saw, a flash of it. They got all the weapons in the world. They got an amazing defense. And when their quarterback can play at his most optimal level, they can be Super Bowl contenders. Your thoughts?
Jake, all you.
All right. Well, I mean, I agree. They could definitely be Super Bowl contenders. It depends, like you said, it depends on how Tua plays, but that defense is definitely made for a deep run in the playoffs.
For sure.
Yep. All right. So the first half, you had me down bad. I thought the Ravens ran away with that game already. So I was sitting there at halftime. I went downstairs. My roommates talked their smack. So I came back upstairs to finish the game. That second half looked like the Miami Dolphins team. If they can put two halves together, they can be really nice. And they're going to need to next week against the Bills. And I think this Bills game is like their first real opportunity to play some talent.
Right.
I know Lamar balled out. He did his thing. But in no world should they have come back in that game if it's any other team. I really liked what I saw from Tua. 6 touchdowns, 5 of them coming in the second half. That's MVP stuff. The defense looked lackluster in the first half. Penalties really killed us. Tua made some questionable decisions. The first pick should have just fell on the floor. It was like tip drill, got caught. I don't blame Tua for that one, but the second half, he just tore it up, made smart plays, good reads, good passes. And Tyreek and Jalen Waddle, they balled out for us.
Literally, bro. First wide receiver duo to have 150 plus yards in an NFL game.
Both of them had 2 touchdowns too.
Yeah. Bro, Tyreek burnt that boy on the long bomb to like tie the game. Oh my gosh.
He was definitely supposed to have safety help or something. Tyreek should not have been that open.
No.
Also, I don't want to hear nothing about no noodle arm from Tua. He threw that ball 50 yards. So I don't want to hear it.
I was just about to say that it's very impressive to see Tua improve his deep ball throwing, deep ball passing, and it's definitely encouraging as a Dolphins fan, I would say, for you, Saya.
Oh, yeah. Now, it was underthrown. Tyreek had to, stop to catch it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I think Tyreek's so fast that he kind of got ahead of Tua throwing the ball and had to come back for it.
Yeah.
Still happy to see it. I think if Tua threw that ball sooner, it would have been in stride. He just got to get the timing down with the cannon.
Right. As long as he keeps improving his deep ball passing throughout the season, you guys can be dangerous.
Yep.
Because that defense, I mean, yeah, the first half they stunk, but if they play like they did in the second half, only allowing 3 points, that's dangerous.
Yes, sir. They put up 28 points, I think, in the fourth quarter alone.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah. They were down 35-14 entering the fourth or something like that.
Mhm.
So imagine if that offense was clicking the rest of the three quarters.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Literally, bro. You guys could have put up 50.
Honestly.
But like you said, the real test is this week against the Bills. Gonna have to shut down Stephon Diggs. That boy's been balling out. Same with Josh Allen, but we'll see what happens. And we'll see if Tua can do this against one of the best defenses in the league as well.
To be fair, though, Stephon Diggs hasn't played a real corner yet.
That is true. But
Don't say nothing about Jalen Ramsey.
no, I'm not. But I'm just saying he's been balling.
Oh, yeah. He's been playing phenomenal. But he's also never had to get guarded by Xavier Howard.
We'll see.
The
We'll
best
see
corner in the league.
We'll see what happens. But I'm just saying the real test is this week, especially for Tua. Because if he plays like he did last week against the Bills, then people are gonna be talking.
I think he can, though, because he was making really good reads and passes. As long as the O-line can give him even 3 seconds, Tua can deliver a good ball.
Yeah, that's what I was about to. That's what I was about to say. It's all up to your O line because that Bills pass rush is legit.
It's scary, bro. But yeah, I'm confident in my team. I believe we can beat the Bills, especially being in Miami. I'm with it.
Always got to be confident.
Yes, sir.
But you got something to say, Gio?
Yeah, real quick. So for me, an important aspect of Tua's game, right? Yes, he needs to be more consistent. But here's the thing for me. Tua showed last game he can play under pressure, right? Especially in the fourth quarter. He had a 7-yard touchdown with 14 seconds left, right, to Jalen Waddle, which showed me not only he can play under pressure, but he's got that clutch gene in him, right? As of right now, right? We need to see this more consistently. But he made a touchdown pass with the game on the line with 14 seconds left. That just shows me that he can do this more often. We've seen glimpses of amazing things to happen for Tua, right? Amazing plays by Tua. Now it's just, can he do this consistently, right? So as long as we know he's got that clutch gene in him, he can do things under pressure. Upsides all from here for the Miami Dolphins.
I agree.
If Miami beats the Bills, we are Super Bowl contenders.
I agree. No, I agree because
Right.
people are already putting the Bills in that category. So if you guys beat them, then they have to put you guys in that category.
Everybody's talking about the Bills. They're going to win the Super Bowl, this, that. Bro, they haven't played like a real team yet. The Rams are weak. The Titans have Ryan Tannehill at quarterback still,
Yeah.
so they ain't good.
I don't count the Titans game, but the Rams just played bad that game, I feel like.
I think so too. But
Also, as we all know, the Super Bowl hangover is real. Not, trying to make an excuse for the Rams, but we have seen teams in the past who have won the Super Bowl come out, struggling. I would say the first couple of games in the next season, right? So we got to see what happens with the Rams progressively going forward, right? But at the same time, like you guys said, the Titans game, they didn't really have any offensive ability, right, for the Titans. Even Derek Henry, he's been struggling, right? That amazing running back for them. So that I would say blow that game away. But that the Rams game, like we said, they had a hangover from the Super Bowl. This is the real test right now. Bills got to go against that Miami Dolphins team, coming out with that strong win against the Ravens. They're pumped. They're ready to win. They're ready to go. It's time to shine for them. So real test comes here.
100%. But
yeah.
Yeah, Gio, you want to talk about the Steelers or do you want me to move on to my boys?
Well, let's talk about happiness real quick. So
All right.
we can go to the Cowboys if you want.
Okay. Well, obviously, the Cowboys very much surprised me this past week. I honestly didn't expect to beat the Bengals after the Bengals lost to the Steelers. I thought Joe Burrow would bounce back, but that Bengals offensive line is atrocious. yes, Micah Parsons is one of the best pass rushers in the league, but they upgraded their offensive line, so they should be able to block for Joe Burrow. Yet he's gotten sacked 7 times week 1 and then 6 times against us. So I think that's the Bengals' number one problem. And until they get that fixed, I don't know, it's going to be a hard season for Joe Burrow, and he honestly could get hurt again like he did in his rookie season. But for the Cowboys, if Cooper Rush plays like this for the weeks to come when Dak is out, I think we'll be just fine when Dak gets back. We'll be at least second in the division. And if he continues to play like that and our receivers actually show up like Noah Brown, CeeDee Lamb, and we might get Michael Gallup back in the coming weeks, I think we'll be set when Dak gets back.
Fair. It was a good game to watch. I liked watching Mike Parsons. He was my highlight. The one thing I will say about the Cowboys though is they need more from Zeke.
Yeah, 100%.
That was another terrible game by him.
Honestly, I'm not opposed to just starting Tony Pollard at this point because he's the better back.
He's outperformed.
Yeah. And he has been for the past year.
Yep. But yeah, Joe Burrow needs more time. And even then, he just has to read where the pressure is coming from and just get the ball out at this point, knowing the pressure is coming.
Literally.
But yeah, it's a good win for the Cowboys.
100%. I'm calling it now. I know Gio's not gonna like this, but Micah Parsons, Defensive Player of the Year.
Could be.
What do you got to say, Gio?
I would agree with you, right? I'm not upset at that take at all. I really thought TJ Watt, right, and Parsons, they're neck and neck to be the best defensive players in the league, right? Also, you got to put Aaron Donald in that category as well.
Jerome Baker.
Yeah. If you want to, I don't know.
Holland.
Yeah, you can say that if you want.
Xavier Howard.
Okay, but going back to that game though, after that Miami Dolphins take, got Ezekiel Elliott carrying the ball 15 carries, right, for only 53 yards. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the offense they're running, right, but it's fitting for Pollard though. That's what we know. Run Pollard more, right? I think that's how you guys will open up the game, especially for a rush, right? Less pressure taken off rush. He can start his passing game. He had 235 yards. He was 19 for 31, which is good, especially for a backup. I was quite shocked, to be honest. Although he did play, I would say, reasonably well for a backup last year when Dak went down, right? The thing for me here is the Bengals lost 2 straight games within 3 points. I don't know what's going on with them. They had a late drive, right, to tie the game. And then obviously the Cowboys kicked a field goal to win. So I don't know if it's, just a slow start for that team. I don't know what's going on with them. Their kicker obviously made a couple, big field goals, 48, I believe 48 yards, 43 yards, 50-yard, field goals. But I really feel like Joe Burrow's offense needs to start getting, started earlier in the game, right? And I think that's how they'll be able to win games. But right now, it's just a slow start for them. And they're losing games tight. And these are the games that they have to win in order to be in the playoffs, especially with all the star teams in the AFC.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Personally, I believe that last year was a fluke for the Bengals. They didn't have to play much competition last year. The teams they did play in the playoffs were either injured or just didn't play up to their potential. So I think it was a fluke. And the main problem, like I said, for the Bengals is just their offensive line. Lael Collins, a former Cowboy, kept getting burnt left and right by Micah Parsons. So, I mean, that's not really an upgrade. That's a downgrade. And I think they thought they upgraded, but they really didn't. Go ahead.
Sorry, I got distracted by something.
Oh, you good.
But yeah, I do believe the Bengals were not as good as we believe. I just think them being so young and so unpredictable was kind of massive in that playoff run. But I also think they step it up in the playoffs too. Because even that team last year was only what 10-7.
They were 10-7 or 11-6, one of the two.
Like they weren't even like one of the top teams. They made a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
They're still probably gonna win their division, unfortunately. But they're not very good right now.
Honestly, as of right now, I could see the Ravens winning that division over the Bengals.
I was thinking someone else, another team.
Who's that?
That boy over there that hasn't spoken in a hot minute. He knows what I'm talking about.
You think it's because of the defense or?
Yeah,
Well, he was
entirely.
gonna say the Browns, obviously. Like, you're gonna say the Browns,
So it's because of
Oh,
the
yeah,
it's
definitely.
because of the defense.
right? Because Myles Garrett, that defense looks abysmal right now,
Yeah.
especially against the Jets.
Yeah. That's another topic.
So, do you want to head into that game real quick?
I mean, we already kind of segued in the Steelers, so let's talk about them real quick.
You want to talk about the Steelers? All right.
Let's see your thoughts. I mean, I didn't really watch the game, but I thought it was close. I
Right.
heard that Trubisky had chances to win the game and he didn't. So I want to hear your thoughts on it.
My thought is, I feel like although he did, I don't want to say he lost the game, but he had his chances, like you said. I think he had a better game. I thought he was, finding, his players more. I feel like it looked like he was more comfortable, right? Playing in that offense. I feel like we need Najee to, obviously play a lot better. For some reason, it looks like he has the holes. I've been watching some replays and, some highlights. It looks like he has the holes, but he's not finding them, right? For instance, there are some holes where he's just runs, I feel like, the opposite way. Instead of running through the hole, he sees something else or something like that. So I think there's holes that are missed. I think, looking back at, tape and stuff, he'll get better at that and he'll, realize that. Also, that defense, missing TJ for that first game was very tough. For them to acclimate and to, I would say, although that offense on the Patriots isn't great, they held them off, right? And so I think we played a great game for a team that we are. I feel like we can be better, though. The potential is there. And it depends on what quarterback we have. It depends if Trubisky will start, and it depends on how well he plays, right? With that offense, it depends on how well Najee runs the ball. And at the same time, if, Kenny Pickett goes ahead and starts, I feel like the offense will be juiced. I think we'll have different energy, different morale in the offense, and we can get started there too. So it really depends on what Tomlin wants to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Najee has to perform better, just like Zeke does for the Cowboys, because
Right.
like we rely on the run game mostly to open up the pass game.
Right.
And if it's not going, then the pass game's obviously not going to get going either, just like it didn't for the Cowboys against the Bucks. So
Right.
I mean, I don't know. Like I haven't had a chance to watch the Steelers this year, but Najee just doesn't look the same.
I will say, if you do go back and look at some highlights, you will see him miss a couple holes where I was shocked about, because he is such a great running back and such a great football player that I thought he would be able to see those holes and be able to run through them. But you miss some here, take some there. So we'll see what happens next.
That makes me feel like he's trying to do too much to take the
Right.
load off of Trubisky.
Exactly. And it could be because of that as well. So
What do you think, Saya?
Yeah, so I think Najee's just going through that sophomore slump right now. I expected him to have a massive year this year, allowing for Trubisky to have his MVP looking start. But when Najee's just kind of lackluster, and it kind of seems like he's going through the motions a little bit too much. I don't see how the Steelers are very good. But I also don't see this really continuing that much more.
right.
I think Tomlin's about to light a fire under Nagy.
Mhm.
And I think that defense is still very scary no matter who you play. And yeah, I expect a little turnaround these next
Right.
couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, you guys do play the Browns in this Thursday, so
Mhm.
I think you guys should beat them, especially with the way they just choked against the Jets. So
Yeah, this could be a nice game for us to, get started, start having a winning streak, right? So we'll see what happens.
yeah. But speaking of the Browns, obviously everyone saw what happened. Nick Chubb didn't take a knee when the Jets had no timeouts. He scored, proven to be a big mistake. The Jets went down and scored on a Corey Davis bomb, got an onside kick, scored again, won the game. And the Browns kicker missed the extra point, which turned out to be very crucial. What are your guys' thoughts on that game?
It was good to watch, but not really. No, I didn't really watch that game like that. I was busy watching another one, but hearing my roommate downstairs, who's a Jets fan, get all hyped and stuff, I had to peep it a little bit. So I tuned in after that touchdown, watched the onside kick, and the Browns just look sad, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like they didn't even try to get that onside kick, like at all.
And the Jets offense has Joe Flacco at quarterback. Like,
Yeah, bro. Like that's just sad to choke.
Why is that a joke? Joe Flacco's the guy. He's the
No,
man.
bro. Not
he
anymore.
was. He was.
Not anymore. He's not. He was. Yeah.
If
But yeah,
if they continue to win, will you keep
But
saying
yeah,
that?
it's just sad for the Browns to choke that lead. That's just it's just Browns football. That's what they do best.
honestly, yeah. But one thing is, if they did win that game, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry. They'd be leading the division
Yeah, that's true.
and sitting at 2-0.
That's true.
That'd be crazy, bro.
That would be. But now, obviously, they play the Steelers. I expect the Steelers to win, and they'll be last in the division by the end of the week. I see, or tied with the Bengals, depending on if the Bengals win.
I also agree. I don't see them winning. Um, the Steelers, their defense is very good, and I feel like they're both great at the pass game and the run game. But I think they're a better run defense than pass.
Yeah, I agree, and I think they're going to shut down Chubb.
Yeah.
But
But
I mean, even if Chubb scores a few touchdowns, like they'll still win. I feel like because Jacoby Brissett hasn't played a real passing defense yet the entire season.
and I take Mitch over Jacoby any day.
Yeah, me too. Like the way Jacoby played in that second half against the Jets, that was awful.
Terrible.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Go ahead, Gio. What do you got to say?
Just gotta say, as a Steelers fan, I have seen us play down to our competitor multiple times and lose games I thought we were supposed to win. I will not be surprised if Nick Chubb gets another 3 touchdowns on us. Why? Because he's Nick Chubb. He's a great running back, and we don't have TJ. Obviously, we still have a great, run game defense, but at the same time, I would not be surprised if Nick Chubb does that. And again, Jacoby Brissett, he found Amari Cooper. He finally did it, right, during that game. I expect Amari Cooper to possibly have one of his best games against us. Although we do have a great secondary. Like I said, we played down to our competitor. And Amari Cooper can go ahead and have an amazing game, possibly. The only thing is, we have Minkah Fitzpatrick. I expect him to have an even better game. He might be one of the best defensive players in the league. It's very scary to see him and TJ on, that field together. But I'm very glad Minka's on our defense because if he wasn't, I really wouldn't see anyone else being a leader on that defense other than Hayward. So we'll see what happens. I still got my Steelers, but I think it's going to be a close game.
That's fair.
Thoughts? See what you're thinking.
Yeah, he's thinking about the Dolphins. I know what he's thinking about.
Miami drafted Minka for his leadership. And then Gio's saying that it's a little bit of the salt in the wound. But it's fine. We got Javon Holland now. We're on the bigger and better. And Brandon Jones. And you can throw Eric Rowe at the safety sometimes if one of them need a break. We're chilling. Don't need
But another game that was pretty surprising to me was the Lions-Commanders game. I expected the Commanders to come out and play the way they did against the Jaguars in week 1, but they looked sluggish in the first half. Like after the first 2 quarters was like 17-0, I think, Lions. And obviously they turned it up in the second half, made it a close game, but it was too little, too late. And Aiden Hutchinson is that guy for the Lions as well.
Yep. Watching that game, it's like, I don't know how to say this. I don't want to, okay, but it's like watching 2 Chase Youngs, kind of, because both teams have that one DN that just tears up offenses.
Yeah.
So it was fun to see that go back and forth, but I need more out of Carson Wentz.
I think Carson Wentz needs to start looking for Scary Terry more.
Yep.
Because, yeah, Curtis Samuel is great and all, and, like, he gets targets and stuff, but bubble screens only get you so much. Like, Terry can beat guys deep.
Scary Terry's one of the best receivers in the league, in my opinion.
I agree. And, like, the fact that he hasn't looked at him, like, for the first couple of weeks a lot is kind of concerning. As if I were a Commander fan, that'd be concerning to me.
Very. Like, I need those 2 clicking, and I need him throwing him the ball. Gotta get the playmakers the ball.
Right. But it also, well, I feel like the reason that the Commanders defense isn't that great right now is because, speaking of Chase Young, they don't have him right now. He's still recovering from his torn ACL. So I think when he gets back, he will definitely help that defense out a lot. But what do you got to say, Gio?
All I got to say is if y'all are new here, right, go ahead and look at previous videos because if I remember correctly, y'all said Jared Goff was trash, low tier, possibly behind Baker.
Don't worry,
y'all.
Gio.
Yeah, he's a top 32 quarterback.
Yeah, top 32, right? I think Goff is still that guy. I said that before in previous podcasts, so if y'all want to hear some more gems, go ahead and subscribe right now. But yeah, Jared Goff, he's that guy still. Especially that St. Brown kid. I am very shocked at his output, his productivity, right? Being a running back and the receiver, this kid is insane, right? He's got 2 carries for 68 yards, right? He's got 9 receptions, 116 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jared Goff had 20 for 34 completions, 256 yards, 4 touchdowns. To me, I don't know. Like you guys said, yeah, Chase Young on the other side, right? For him to be doing that, I think that's great still. I think that's better than Baker Mayfield. I think that's better than half of the quarterbacks in the league, to be honest. And, yeah, Jared Goff is still that guy. We'll see what happens with Detroit, but I think they got a lot of potential.
The thing about Goff, though, is that's one good week. Week 1, he played all right. I'll give him all right. Week 2, yeah, he played great. But the thing about Goff is that eventually he will go back to his old ways, and I fully expect him to do so eventually.
What I'm gonna say is Jared Goff made some good throws.
That's right.
They were good, not great.
Okay, I would agree.
I'll move him up to number 31 in the league, best quarterback.
Yes,
Why LA? Why
as of
LA?
right now, yes, he is better than Baker Mayfield because Baker Mayfield is playing like trash. But if Baker gets going, I wouldn't expect that to last long.
I don't know. Right now, I'd still put Baker over him. I know he's slow, like having a slow start, but I just know he can turn it up. So I think it's more likely Baker turns it up this season than Jared Goff continues at the rate he does.
I agree. Because Jared Goff always starts out hot and then goes cold. It's just what he does.
Yep.
I do expect the Lions to get more wins than one, though, obviously. But I could see him getting like around 6 or 7, but that's max.
They're entertaining this year, though.
Yeah, they definitely are. I love their new coach. He brings like a great mentality to their
Yes,
team.
sir.
But Gio, what do you got to say?
This is a very heated topic. For some reason, I think so highly of Jared Goff. Right, going to the Super Bowl. Not even 4 years ago, I think.
Todd Gurley.
That was the defense, actually, the Rams defense. That's what I give it to.
Todd Gurley offensively.
I believe he's still a great quarterback. I don't think he's the best, right? I don't even think he's top 10. But he's better than half of those guys in the league, in my opinion.
So he's a top 15 quarterback?
No, bro, he is bottom tier. I still believe
15,
that.
yeah.
I still believe he is bottom tier.
Well,
I will put him at 28th right now.
Can you name me what quarterbacks he's better than?
then he's better than
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield, Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush is not a starter. Go starters.
Okay, sure. Starters. Yeah, I would say that. I would say
Here, Gio, I'll make it easier for you. We'll go division by division.
all right, let's do that.
So in the AFC East, is he better than Tua, Josh Allen, Zach Wilson, or Mac Jones? Any of those four?
I could say Zach Wilson, but like we haven't seen that much of him. So I would say Zach Wilson right now. So there's one.
All right, that's fair. I'll give you that. Chiefs, so Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr.
I would say Derek Carr. It really depends on what Derek Carr we get. We haven't seen.
Yeah, it depends on what Jared Goff you get too, though.
You're bugging, sir.
It depends
Derek
on
Carr
what.
has not done anything in his career.
Okay, it depends on what Jared Goff you get though, because like week 1 he played okay.
True.
Week 2 he played great.
Right. So it really depends on who you. Okay, I still think Jared Goff is better than Derek Carr. In the scenario that Derek Carr is in, I think Jared Goff would thrive in my opinion.
No,
That's
bro.
just
He would not have gotten Devontae Adams the ball as much as Derek Carr did in week 1. I truly believe that.
Derek Carr is more reliable to me than Jared Goff.
I'm still curious on if we'll get 15. So let's just say Derek Carr as a potential number 2.
Okay.
All right. Mitch Trubisky.
I would say yes. I'm taking Jared Goff over Mitch right now.
That's
Put a
fair.
finger up.
Okay, there's 3.
Lamar Jackson.
Nope.
Starters.
Yeah.
Yeah, starters.
Deshaun Watson.
Okay, no. Well, really. Okay,
We don't know yet, but like
we can say
right
Jacoby.
now.
Isn't he a starter though? Like,
I mean, this year, yeah, but in the future he won't be.
But
All right, well,
Deshaun's their quarterback.
we won't say Jacoby then, just because we already put Derek Carr. So
I mean, he's better than Jacoby. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But
right, yeah, right. Okay, keep on going.
Joe Burrow.
Nope. Well, no, probably not.
No, bro.
Well, we only seen one real great season with Joe. Although we've seen a lot of success from him in prior seasons and different leagues, right? We only got that one season. Right now he's playing 2.
We've only got one great season. Well, great season with the Rams for Jared Goff.
Okay.
Half his career, he's been in the Super Bowl.
Well, I think it was the 3rd. We can count one season out if you want.
I count his rookie year as a hurt year, but
Right.
okay.
All right.
He's a whole third of his career.
Facts.
Okay, so let's keep on moving. We still only got 3.
The
So in the midst of this heated argument or discussion about Jared, right? Nick left you guys on a cliffhanger. Listening to all these great, amazing quarterbacks, right, ahead of him. So let's continue on with this list.
Okay, this division you might be able to rack some up.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yep. So we got 4 now.
Yeah,
Are you
I'm
wor-
even
Are you asking about the Texans?
D Mills.
Davis Mills, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even
5.
know that was their quarterback.
Okay.
Colts, Matt Ryan.
Colts, Matt Ryan.
That's a tough one for me. I got Matty over him, so
Thank you.
that's a close one though for me. What about you guys?
I mean, if we're talking about this year, like the first 2 games, Matt Ryan has not looked good.
Okay, well we can put him up there.
Yeah, right
That's
now
it.
Jared Goff is outperforming him. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But
Okay. We got 6.
Ryan Tannehill,
Yep, I would put him there.
that's close. They're close in skill
It's
set.
close.
It is a close
It is
one.
close.
Jalen Hurts,
Nope.
Danny Jones.
Although I love Danny, I'm taking Jared.
That's a close one too, but I think Danny Jones got it for me.
Really?
Honestly, I'd put Jared Goff over Danny Jones.
I would, just because I've seen Danny. It's just crazy what goes on in his head sometimes.
I mean, Saquon's carrying that team, but I
Right.
think Danny Jones is doing like a decent enough job.
Yeah, he's doing decent, I would say.
I think it's more Saquon back to his old form that's helping that team.
Yeah, I think so too.
But he can be playing better though, for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Jared Goff's gonna fall off. So
Okay.
Okay, the next one, bro, you better say no. Dak Prescott.
Yeah, we obviously know what Dak can bring. It just depends on if he chokes. All right, so we'll see what happens.
All right. Then Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz ahead of him.
Okay, that's fair.
I got Carson.
All
So
right,
what are we
keep it
at?
rolling.
8, 7 still?
8. That's 8.
8. Okay.
This next team.
Yep.
No, we're going starters this year. Trey Lance.
Nope.
I mean, now it's Jimmy G.
Right.
Well,
Like
like-
so now we
Yeah.
got 9. We got 9.
Matt Stafford.
Stafford?
No. Matt Stafford's got him.
That's fair.
Kyler Murray.
Nope,
All right, another one. Jared Goff's over. Geno Smith.
for sure.
Yeah.
I would say week 1, Geno Smith played the best game of his life, but everything else, we still there. So what is that, 9, 10?
So did you put Jimmy G over Jared Goff or Jared Goff over Jimmy G?
I got Jimmy.
Okay, I was about to say.
I got Jimmy.
Okay.
But Trey
Okay.
Lance, though, like we said, started.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 9, 10. So
Captain Kirk.
Realistic-
Cousins.
go ahead.
What about Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins ahead of him. Just
Because Kirk's an average quarterback. Jared Goff's below average.
I would say Kirk Cousins is the definition of an average quarterback. Like that
That's
man is
all.
very consistent, right? So
I mean, if you watched the Vikings game, you saw an average quarterback.
Yep.
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers.
we know what he does. Aaron Rodgers is top 2.
This is a good one actually. Oh, I'm blanking on this. I can see his face. I can't.
What team? Bears? Oh, Justin
Oh,
Fields.
Justin Fields. I got Justin.
Justin Fields.
Okay, you got Justin over Goff? Okay.
Oh, for sure. Ohio State. Come on.
Okay, that makes sense. Ohio State bias.
Okay.
Tom Brady, TB12.
You know what? Yeah, we'll put number 11 out there, right? Now I'm playing. Is that the last one though?
We got 3 more.
All right, continue.
Famous Jameis Winston.
That's very tough. I'm gonna put Jared, just because he's that's very tough. I got Jared.
Baker Mayfield.
I got Jared Goff. So we're
That's
at 12, right?
12, yeah.
12.
Marcus Mariota to wrap it up.
We got 13.
Okay, I'll give you. He's a top 20 quarterback, or not top 20, but like
I'll say top 25.
I'll say top.
Yeah, he's in that
25.
range, I would say.
I've been disrespected. I'll admit that.
I would say 15 to 25. You can put him in there.
It's not that I hate Goff. It's just he's not better than most quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion.
He's not. I guess he is technically a starting caliber quarterback, but he's not a starting quarterback that you want.
No, I wouldn't say so. But that's just me. Obviously, Gio got some different opinions.
Yeah, so if you guys think Jared Goff is good, go ahead down below in the comments. See what you think about Jared Goff. Tell us, everything. So we'll see what happens.
Let's go to the most surprising game that surprised you this past weekend.
You want to go first?
Yeah. What surprised me the most was how close the Rams game was.
I mean, they were blowing them out, but then the Falcons came back.
Yeah. That's what I don't really get.
I think the Rams just took their foot off the pedal, like, we got the win.
Right.
But they can't really do that anymore.
I mean, like Gio said, they won a Super Bowl, so they think they're that team still.
But is it because they won a Super Bowl?
I think it is.
Or is it because Von Miller's no longer there? Odell Beckham Jr. is not playing for him no more.
I think it's a little bit of both, but I think they're too confident because they won the Super Bowl and they think that they got most of the team back so they can do it again.
I will say I think that does come into play.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think they're missing 2 massive star-studded players.
Right.
I agree. I mean, you see what Von Miller is doing with the Bills.
Exactly.
Obviously, Odell's still a free agent. He could still come back. He's not going to play until November, so we'll see what happens there. But I don't think they should have let Von Miller go.
No.
He might go to Buffalo too, so watch out for that.
No.
Right. If Odell and Von goes to Buffalo, oh my.
No.
Saya does not want that.
I'll actually be so angry at Odell.
But go ahead, Gio. You can do yours most surprising.
All right. I'm not too sure on what you're going to pick, but between these 2 games, for me, it's the Panthers and the Giants game or the Colts and the Jaguars game.
Bro, I was thinking those exact same too.
All right. So which one did you want to pick? I'll pick the other one.
I think I'm going to pick the Jags Colts.
All right. Go ahead.
I think the Colts are the most disappointing team in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
They had an upgrade at quarterback. Clearly not an upgrade. They should have kept Carson Wentz as of right now. Mm-hmm. Matt Ryan looks washed and looks like he should retire.
Yep.
And until that changes, I do not see this Colts team going anywhere because Jonathan Taylor can only take them so far. They need a passing game, and clearly Matt Ryan is not the same Matt Ryan that we're used to. But credit to the Jaguars because Trevor Lawrence has definitely improved in the offseason. They got extremely better in the offseason. Christian Kirk is clearly a great receiver who just wasn't utilized correctly in Arizona. So I think the Jaguars are honestly the most surprising team for me so far in the league, but I don't expect it to keep up. I expect them to fall off a little bit, but I could see them getting around 6 or 7 wins just like the Lions.
With that game, I don't think the Jags are surprising me as much as the Colts are disappointing me. I think.
That's true. But I mean, they almost beat the Commanders. That's why I said they've been surprising me, the Jaguars.
Yeah, that's fair. The Commanders should have blown them out the way
Yeah.
I'm speaking, but at the same time, the Colts tied week 1.
Yeah, they tied with the Texans.
Yeah, the Texans of all teams.
Yeah. The first 2 games should have been easy wins.
I don't even know who plays quarterback for the Texans.
Right. Like the fact that these 2 games were a blowout, you can't even score 1 touchdown against the Jaguars. Come on, that defense it improved, but it's not that good. And then 2, you tie with the Texans? Come on, bro. That's 2 easy wins. And Jonathan Taylor had like 3 touchdowns with 160 yards that game. Like, come on.
It's disappointing. Very, very disappointing.
It's just clear that Matt Ryan is the issue to me.
He's too old now.
Right. And obviously that defense is not the same either that it was last year.
No.
Obviously, yeah, they don't have Shaq Leonard, but they should still be a lot better than they are, I would say.
I agree.
Go ahead, Gio.
So for the Panthers game and the Giants game, right? We all know how great of offenses they have, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Danny Dimes, as most people call him, 22 for 34, 176 yards, 1 touchdown. To me, I think that's pretty fair for Danny Jones. Saquon had 21 carries and only 72 yards. They won the game, and he didn't have to have a monster game. That's what's most shocking to me, because I thought the Giants had to, in order to win their games, Saquon would have to have a monster game, like 176 yards, 21 carries, and like 2 touchdowns, something of that nature. I thought Baker Mayfield was going to exploit this defense a lot, actually. He didn't. I thought Christian McCaffrey was going to exploit this defense. Obviously, he did not. He only had 102 yards, 0 touchdowns. So it was mostly a field goal type of game. So for the Giants to come out, win that game without Saquon having a monster game is huge. And like I said before, right now they're sitting at 2-0. They can either be the 1 seed or they can be the 4 seed. It really depends on how well the rest of that conference plays, right? So we'll see what happens. But right now, Giants sitting at 2-0, so they're at number 1 right now for me.
This next week is very crucial for the NFC East. The Commanders play the Eagles, and then we play the Giants. So we
Monday Night Football, right?
We could either be tied for first or tied for last, depending on how it goes.
The whole division can swing right here this weekend.
Right.
Literally.
Kind of fun to like look forward to.
I'm nervous, to be honest, because the Giants have been playing good, and that defense is much improved.
For sure.
So we'll see what happens.
They could have Coach of the Year right now.
Honestly, as of right now, Brian Dabble is looking like a great hire.
For sure. Coach of the Year right now for me.
Go ahead, Sid.
At the same time, though, they haven't played any real competition either.
Right.
I think this week, even though it's Cooper Rush's backup, it's their first real competition.
But even then, though,
because defensively wise, we have a great defense.
I can understand that, but even then, I feel like any win for the Giants is amazing, right?
Yeah, because you didn't expect them to start out 2-0 like no one did.
Right. So it doesn't matter what kind of competition they have right now. It would matter if they were a good team, right? But as we all know, it's surprising they're sitting at 2-0 right now. So it's good for them. DeBall is, like I said, Coach of the Year right now. But what do you got to say on anything for the Giants, Nick?
Right now, I can see the Giants finishing out.
Yeah.
Kind of a middle of the pack team, like 15 to like 20-ish range, maybe 13, 20. But also McDaniel, Coach of the Year.
Right.
But to close it out, I think the Panthers have been a big disappointment.
Right.
Not the Panthers as a whole. It's just Baker Mayfield. You expected him to come to the Panthers and rip apart the Browns week 1 to prove a point. Didn't do that, and then rip apart the Giants because it's the Giants. didn't do that. So, I mean, this Panthers team, I don't see Baker. I mean, yeah, they said they're going to extend Baker and stuff, but that's just to make him happy. I don't see him remaining the starter if he continues to play like this and Darnold comes back. I just don't.
That was my question to you guys: is if they started Sam, how great of an offense can they have?
I mean, it's not a great offense, but it's better than what they have right now. It flowed way better than it did this year so far.
Do you think that Christian McCaffrey would have a better games if Sam was the quarterback?
I don't think it's the quarterback. I feel like it's more of the O line for the Panthers for the running game.
I just didn't know if if you had the passing game, right?
Yeah, I feel like it
And
would
that
open things up more because I also feel like Sam Darnold will check it down to McCaffrey more as well.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
For me, it's not a massive upgrade,
No.
but right now it is an upgrade. And I also I know he used to play in the division, but I cheer on Sam Darnold nowadays.
Mhm.
I'm a Sam Darnold guy where I cheer him on.
Yep.
So if he can win that starting job back, I'll be happy. I think the offense slightly improves, but not massively.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they'll still be a middle of the pack team, but the way Baker's playing, I don't see that they have a choice to keep him as a starter. Like, you
Right.
can't.
No.
Like, I feel like if Darnold was healthy, he would have been pulled both games by the third quarter at least.
I can agree with that. I think because at least they would have switched it up, try to find some life.
Right.
Maybe Sam Darnold's the answer.
Right. I mean, we'll see what happens, but if Baker doesn't turn up, he's not gonna stay a starter. That's just simple. Any closing thoughts on that for either of you?
I think you summed that up pretty well.
Yep. Cheering for
All
Sam.
right.
Yep.
Moving on to the NBA. So there was some breaking news of about 30 minutes ago. The Boston Celtics coach Ime Udoka is facing a possible disciplinary action, including a significant suspension for an unspecified violation of organizational guidelines. Discussions are ongoing within the Celtics on a final determination. So, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, do you think something went on behind the scenes that we don't know about, or what?
I mean, there's got to be, but I don't know. I need more information to come out before I can really make like a full judgment. But
I agree because like I need to see like what he did that wasn't right.
yeah, because it could be something like massive, and I'll be like strongly, yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
But I just don't know what he did right now, so it's just kind of hard to base it.
That's true. But what do you got to say, Gio?
Just like Nick, I need to know more. But if it's something where he breached his contract or something like that in that nature, then obviously we got to see what happens. But for what we've seen of Ime Udoka, right? He was a respectful, kind coach, right? But we don't know what happened behind closed doors. Like, you can be a totally different person behind the camera. So for me, it's really like I said, what we've seen. He was a great coach, good person, right? But we don't know what happens behind the closed doors, and we'll just see what happens when more information is given to us.
Yeah, like you guys said, I need more information. But if it was massive, I would not have expected this from a person like him, like Gio said.
Right.
But like you said, you don't know what happens behind closed doors.
Do you think he'll ever get hired again if it is something serious?
No, I don't think so because like even though he's a great coach,
Right.
like a
That's
very good coach, I don't think any organization would want that, like to put their players at risk if it was like something he did to the players.
Right.
Facts. And the first half of last season did happen,
That's true.
so you never really know.
Yeah. Maybe it was something to do with the first half, like he got super mad and did something to the players. Who knows?
You know?
we'll have to see what happens. But sticking with the NBA, obviously, we talked about Robert Sarver on the last pod. If you didn't hear that, you can go check it out. But he is going to, well, he is in the process of selling both the Suns and then the WNBA team. I forget their name, but
Mercury.
yeah, the Phoenix Mercury.
Yep.
So he's in the process of selling both those teams because of what went down. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? You think he's making the right move and the NBA is going to be in better hands because of it?
I do believe so. I don't think. I mean, clearly he doesn't want to sell the team right now, but I think it's massive for the NBA to have him do that because the NBA brand kind of got tarnished with that whole situation. So for them to just kind of like be like, yeah, he sold the team, he's not a problem anymore. We're back to being this big family of the NBA and this like good brand. So I think it's a big move for them.
I agree. I think it's the right move. Obviously, he doesn't want to sell the teams, but no one likes him. So what's the point of keeping the teams if you can't even like get people to come work with you? So I think it's the right move for him, and it's definitely big for the NBA, like you said, because players like LeBron James and stars were very mad at that disciplinary action. They thought he should have been terminated forever. So they are definitely more happy, and it keeps money rolling in for the NBA because of that.
Yes, sir.
What do you guys say, Gio?
Just like you guys said, if he stayed the owner, there would have been more issues for the organization, for himself, and for the league as a whole. To be honest, it helps Adam Silver out as well, because I believe he did make those like suspending him right for the year and fines and stuff, right? So for him to be determining those things, it helps him. But like you guys said, it helps with the brand of the NBA, making that whole family dynamic come back. Having that, be set aside and be put in the past instead of being in the forefront like always. It's just great to see that. Just like you said, if you can't get anyone to work for you, then how can you run a business? He'll come out, I would say, around $3 billion richer, in my opinion, especially if I believe Minnesota Timberwolves, they sold for $2.1 billion along with their WNBA team as well, I think. So the Phoenix Suns, obviously, an iconic, right, organization. Charles
And a team
Barkley,
on the come up too.
Steve Nash with a team on the come up. Great lineage there. I think both teams are going to sell for around $3 billion, in my opinion, maybe a little bit more. See what happens.
Yeah, I think it's the right move for both sides, like I said. But the last topic is obviously the Lakers did re-sign Dennis Schroeder after a year away from the team. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it. I've said I've been there, done that. Didn't see anything that really I liked. He had a few good games, but when it mattered, he did not. But what are your guys' thoughts on the signings? On the signing?
I think it's a bad move, just entirely.
I agree.
I try to think about something that like benefits the Lakers by bringing him.
The only thing I could think about is defense, but like even then,
Like you already have so many point guards, and
right?
like guards in general.
Yeah,
I don't understand bringing back Schroeder when you could have got more wing depth. I feel like that's something that's very lackluster right now and very needed. So I would rather have seen them go get a wing. I'm not going to name anyone because I'm sure someone else is going to bring that up. But yeah, just I would rather have seen them get a wing.
Yeah, bring back Melo. That's all I gotta say. But yeah, I mean I've been there, I've done that. He had 0 points in the elimination game when it mattered. He played okay. I'll say he played okay in the regular season. He had a few good games that won us games, but not enough for us to keep him. Obviously, we didn't, and then bring him back. Like I just don't get it. We already have Russell Westbrook. We have Kendrick Nunn if he stays healthy, and then we have a few other point guards to name that I can't name right now either. But like, I just don't understand it. Like you said, we just have too many guards.
Facts. Austin Reeves.
Yeah, I mean, like Lonnie Walker. Like we signed all these guards. The only forward we really signed was Juan Toscano Anderson, and that's a great signing. But like, we need more.
Facts.
But what do you got to say, Gio?
You guys signed him for what? $2.64 million
Something like that. I think, yeah.
1 year. I would have gave that money to Melo, to be honest. Like you guys said, you had a lot of guards. Schroeder had an average of, I believe, around 14 points per game, right? I don't expect him, especially like you guys said. What did he really do last season away from
Nothing.
the team? Did nothing. He bet on himself and he lost, right? For him to come back, either can resurrect his career just like Dwight Howard, right, and take in a different role, or he's going to be the same player, and I believe he's going to have less production, in my opinion. Taking under the wing of Russell Westbrook, we saw what those two players can do together in OKC. Just bear with me for a second. We saw what those two players can do, right? They played great with each other, had a great team dynamic. If those two players can come back and play together, great. I'm not saying individually wise they have to play amazing, all-star caliber, but if those two players can come together and play great together, then you guys have a shot.
That's fair. I still think we have a shot to make the playoffs, but like we got to get more wings, like Saya said. I mean, we got I forgot we got Pat Bev. Like we got so many guards, bro.
So many guards.
We just need forwards, and LeBron's getting up there in age. He can't play 30 to 40 a game anymore, 38 to 40 minutes a game anymore, or else his body's gonna collapse like it did last year.
Sure. But like I said, if you can get those two players playing together again, right, and playing well with each other, like I said, I think you guys got a shot, especially with that backcourt. You guys have great players in your backcourt. I wouldn't say they're amazing all-star players, but together, they'll put a herd on your backcourt. Seriously. You got Russell Westbrook, Pat Beverly, and Schroeder, right? Those guys alone, mentally and physically against another opponent's backcourt will just take them out.
Yeah, I agree. The only reason I am okay with the signing, I'm not completely mad, is because of his defense and hustle. That's it.
Right.
One thing the Lakers should do, they should try to trade some of those guards.
Mm-hmm.
One wing that comes to mind, he doesn't really shoot the ball well, but he gonna lock up for you.
Okay.
And I think he's with the guards you have, he's a decent asking price. He's good enough to get. Isaac Okoro, a nice wing piece that I can just D up for you.
Yeah, that'd be a great get for sure. But I feel like
the Lakers. What are you giving us?
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Say. What do we give up?
Okay. So we'll give you. Think about it. All right. We'll give you Dennis Schroeder and Kendrick Nunn.
That is intriguing. The Kendrick Nunn part, just because of who he is as a player, will fit well with Cavaliers. We have a lot of guards, though. That's the thing. We have Ricky Rubio, too, which I didn't know we re-signed, which is amazing re-sign for him. So,
yeah.
But I can see that. That'd be good.
It would definitely be a great get for the Lakers. But I feel like the Lakers are just too focused on trying to trade Russ that they're not signing free agents, and I think they just gotta let it roll with Russ for at least the first half of the season and sign free agents and just run with it at this point, because there's only a month left till the season.
I think the best move would be, if you're really trying to trade Russ, the first week or two in, just let Russ play OKC basketball again.
Yeah.
Up his trade value and ship him.
Right, exactly. So we can get as much as we want. Yeah. That's true. Because we can't get a lot right now. That's why we're hanging up the phones. But if we do that, we could get a lot.
Yeah. I got you.
I was gonna say that's exactly what I've been saying with Anthony Davis. Although he's an amazing player, his health is a concern. When he's there playing and he's playing amazingly for those 15, 20 games, that's the time you got to trade him because you don't know if he's going to go down again. So
That's
those two
fair.
players, when they play well, that's their trading block right then and there, that time span.
That's fair. But I'd rather trade Russ over AD personally.
Oh, for sure. But I'm just saying those two players, those are the two tradable players on your team right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Gio, would you take a Evan Mobley for Anthony Davis trade?
No, I would not. I'm sorry. That upside for that kid is too high.
That's fair.
Jake, would you do that as a Lakers fan?
Sure.
Yeah, in a heartbeat.
Okay. Or dang.
Because, bro, like Hideo said, that upside, and plus he can actually stay healthy.
Right.
Okay. What about Scotty Barnes? Would you trade Anthony Davis for Scotty Barnes?
No.
He's going to be good, but he's not going to be Anthony Davis level.
No.
Okay. So the health concern's not Scotty Barnes level.
No.
I would rather have Anthony Davis.
What about
And-
Spicy P?
No. I'd still keep AD.
Gotcha.
And if we do trade AD, I need a power forward or center back.
Right.
Pascal Siakam?
Yeah, no. AD is still better than him.
I would honestly take Siakam.
If it's straight up, heck
No,
no.
I don't believe it would. I would take Siakam and possibly
What's
wow.
his name? OG Anunoby.
I would say this. If you guys can do AD and I would hate to say this, but like Russell Westbrook, right? For Pascal Siakam and for who's that guard over there? I'm blanking.
Fred
on-
VanVleet.
Freddie.
Fred VanVleet. That
Yeah.
great shooter, right? Great guard. I would take those two players for AD, Russ, and then obviously they would have to give up something else like OJ or OG, like you were saying.
Yeah. I would think about that as a Lakers fan for sure. But anything else you all want to say?
Sign number 7. That's all I got to say.
Honestly, yeah, sign number 7.
Facts. That is facts. We need to bring back Melo. Can't believe he's still a free agent, but yeah, we definitely need to bring him back. Obviously, yes, he was a defensive liability. I'll give him that. But he won us some games with his scoring when others were injured. So
Right.
I would love to see him back.
For sure. And
But-
have 2 Q's players on the Lakers. That's championship pedigree for me.
Facts.
AD for Clint Capella.
No.
John Collins.
No.
Mo Bamba.
No.
Okay. What about Jaren Jackson Jr.?
I would think about that one, but it's still 50-50. I'll give you
James
50-50.
Wiseman.
No, he's injury prone right now too.
Kristaps Porzingis.
No, God, no.
Rudy Gobert.
No, bro. The only reason I say no, yeah, he's a better defender, but the offense, bro, no.
Okay, so Yusuf Nurkic.
No.
For real?
No, I would not, bro. No. Because I feel like AD is better than Yusuf.
Did you see what he did in the Euro?
Yeah, but we signed the Euro is not the NBA. Like I don't base players' rankings off that.
Shout out to the Hernan and Gomez brothers actually for winning that cup. So
Facts.
All.
But when I said center, I meant top tier center or power forward.
Okay, but like top tier as in like tier 2, 3. Center.
No, I mean we're the tier that AD's in.
But you gotta put health into it.
Yeah, we'll throw in some picks.
So you're saying like only Embiid, Jokic, Giannis type. Like that's tier 1.
No, not like that. But I'll take some like tier 2.
Okay.
But
all right.
if they throw some picks in, they got to throw some picks in.
What about DeAndre Ayton?
I would do that. Yeah.
All right. All right. We have the trade.
DeAndre Ayton and CP3. CP3 finally out of the Lakers.
CP3 could get his ring and then walk,
Yeah.
Well,
With Melo and Bron.
right?
D-Wade's coming out of retirement. What?
Man, that'd be sick.
That'd be great.
Well, a man can dream.
Thanks.
But you got a segment, Gio?
Yeah. So 2 things I want to touch on. Last week, MJ's last dance jersey sold for $10.1 million. I thought that was pretty impressive. He's still, anything Michael Jordan's going up in price. And then finally, I wanted to talk about who's eligible for the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2023. I thought that was very important. Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Pau Gasol, and Tony Parker, 4 great elite players in our league. And thankfully, we were all able to watch them in our lifetimes. It's crazy to me thinking Dwayne Wade and Dirk going into the Hall of Fame. I remember Dwayne Wade throwing that lob up for LeBron. That was the most beautiful play I think I've ever seen. I saw that lob I've ever seen in basketball history. Dirk Nowitzki, that one-legged fader, the Tony Parker crossover, right? And then Pau Gasol, 4 amazing players. Glad they're going into the Hall of Fame, hopefully.
Yeah, for sure. Those are all great nominees. I kind of wish that the Basketball Hall of Fame put Kobe and D Wade in the same one, but I just feel it could be more cool if they did that. But in the video game world, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wish we were able to see LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony all go into the Hall of Fame at the same time. That would be amazing.
Yeah, that'd be sick. But in the video game world, there's not much going on outside of NBA 2K. People have just been playing that like crazy, including myself. It's a very fun game. I highly suggest it if you haven't got it. There's whatever version you want. It just depends on the price or if you want the boat or the city. But either one is very good, and I highly suggest it.
Park be going crazy, bro.
Facts.
For music, I'm gonna shout out A Boogie. Last pod I didn't get to shout out his album. A Boogie with a Hoodie dropped an album. I'm an A Boogie guy, so I enjoyed it. It was a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. See y'all in the next one.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, I think this is a very good pod, one of the better ones. You can drop a like. Make sure you comment about Jared Goff down below. There's no way he's top 15. And most importantly, make sure you GM.
Hey, thank you all for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe. We appreciate all the views. But if you guys like the video, just go ahead and hit subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.